Hi and welcome to this DCP Web tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you a 100% free keyword research tool. I will also show you how to research keywords and search volumes. So let's go ahead and open up the web browser. And I'm on this website called Ubersuggest. So I'll put a link to this website in the YouTube description. And this website's been created by Neil Patel. He's quite famous for SEO. You may have heard of him, you may have not, but I'll definitely ask you to go and do a little YouTube search or a Google search and find out more about this guy. He does loads of good stuff. He's got an amazing blog, he's got amazing video content, he's very, very helpful, and he gives you a lot of suggestions in order to rank your website high in the search engines, right? So I'm learning a lot from him and from other sources, and over the next subsequent tutorials, I want to try and share a lot of my knowledge that I've gained in regards to SEO over many years. So one of this particular tool allows us to do some analysis. There's quite a few different tools out there, but this one is actually for free, and free is always a nice thing. And this particular tool will allow us to do a few things. It will allow us to research keywords. It will allow us to see the search volume for those particular keywords, and it will also allow you to, which is quite naughty, spy on your competitors, right? So we'll focus on the first two things, and we'll come back to this tool and look at some of the other options which are available. So in here, it's asking me to enter a domain or a keyword. So I run a website design company, so I'm going to type in web designers, and it's going to ask me which location I'm located in, or which location do I want to search for. So I want to search for web designers, and I'm based in England or English United Kingdom, and I'm going to click the search button. When I click the search button, the software will go and do an analysis based on data that it holds in its database about how many times people are searching for this particular keyword every month, and it's going to give you some basic metrics, right? It's going to give you some basic information. So let's just quickly analyze this page, and then we'll look at how we can use this within our own businesses to try and rank higher for certain keywords, and which ones are very competitive, which ones are difficult, what makes them difficult, and how you can find niche keywords or more basic keywords, or what we call long tail keywords, to rank higher quicker in the search engines. So the first piece of information it gives me is the search volume. So if you look at this graph, it says in October last year it did 18,100, and then all of a sudden it started to drop the search volume, and that kind of makes sense, right? Towards the end of the year, people are less likely to be looking for web designers. They're winding down the business for the end of the year, and they want to prepare for Christmas and their holidays. So you tend to see traffic drop in this period. But if you were to look for something like Christmas decorations, then maybe you'll see that spike, right? You'll see the opposite effect. So depending on what your business is, you need to choose the keywords quite carefully. And then the rest of the year, it's pretty static, right? It's pretty stable. It's going to do a standard sort of volume of monthly traffic. So this particular keyword I'm trying to rank high for right now in the search engines, and I'm only a small business, right? I'm not a massive company, but I want to rank high for this keyword, and this keyword is quite competitive. It's quite difficult to rank high for. So it tells me the difficulty score. So the higher this score out of 100, the more difficult it's going to be to rank for. And the paid difficulty. So if I wanted to run some pay-per-click campaigns and pay for this this keyword to be on page 1 of Google, then I expect to be paying quite a lot of money, around $9 per click. So that would roughly be around, let's say, £7 a click. So every time someone goes to the search engine, types in web designers, if they see my advertisement and they click on it, it's going to cost me around £7. They click on it 10 times, that's 70 quid. They click on it 100 times, that's £700. So I want to try and rank to page 1 of Google for this keyword, because I don't pay for any clicks that are when someone searches. If I'm on page 1, I don't pay for those clicks, right? So if we scroll down this page, we see a bit more information. Here it says keyword ideas. So you can see web designers, you can see website designers, you can see website designers freelancers, web designers freelance, web designers course, web design agency, and website designers Edinburgh. And then you can click here and view a lot more keywords. And here you can see the search volume. So web designers returns 18,100, and something like website design agency returns 1,900. And down this side here, you can see the paid difficulty, like we said. You can see the cost per click, so how much you will pay if you wanted to do advertising, how much it will cost per click. But here you can see the search engine difficulty. And you can see something like web design agency is 29 and web designers is 41. So web designers is obviously going to be more difficult to rank in the search engines because it receives more volume. So what I tend to do is, and when I'm working on SEO projects for my clients, I tend to pick some quite high keywords depending on the age of their business as well. There's a lot of things that factor which keywords you should try and rank high for. If you started your business last week, then it wouldn't make sense that you go and try and rank high for a really competitive keyword. You want to rank high for something less competitive. Although you'll receive less volume, you've got a better chance of ranking higher for it because the search engine difficulty is a lot less. So you need to think of it from that perspective. But if you're an established business, you've been running for many years, your domain's got quite a lot of age to it, meaning you've had a website for quite a long time, then you've got a better chance to rank higher in the search engines. There's a couple of key metrics up here as well. It tells me the average web page that ranks on the top 10 listings has 666 backlinks. That's quite an obscure number there. It just happens to be 666, and a domain score of 69. So in my next tutorial or in subsequent tutorials, we're going to look at backlinks and we're going to look at domain scores. What do these things actually mean? SEO is quite a broad subject. There's quite a lot of things to look at. So today really we want to look at keyword research and search volume. Identifying keywords and looking at the search volume. Are they worth ranking high for? Because if I did something like web designers, let's say East London, and then I search for that one, we can see the return results. We can see the search volume is much less. It's only 50 searches, right? And they may fluctuate throughout the year, but on average, you're going to get, roughly around 50 searches. And the SEO difficulty is very, very low. It's only at 18. And you can see the domain score is much lower. The domain score is a bit like the credibility of your website. So if your website has really, really good content, you get a lot of traffic to it through social media. Lots of people are linking to your domain. You've got lots of good backlinks to your domain, you have a good profile on your domain, then your domain score will be higher. That's what a domain score is. And backlinks are how many websites or how many social media profiles, or how many times you've got your website listed in directories, and all these different ways of getting backlinks to your website. If you're doing guest post blogging, stuff like that, we'll touch base on that in future tutorials, or how to generate good backlinks. But backlinks will help to rank your website higher in the search engines, and your domain score is almost like your stamp of approval. The higher your domain score, the higher you are going to be ranked for certain keywords in your industry. So if you've got a really brand new domain, it doesn't mean that you can't rank high in the search engines. You just need to put a lot more effort in to get your domain score higher. But there's many different metrics that will determine how high you rank in the search engines. So is it worth ranking high for web designers in East London? Does it make sense for me to do that? Definitely it makes sense for me to do that. I live and work in East London. Why wouldn't I want to have 50? Why wouldn't I want to have 5 people out of this search volume? Maybe only be 5, maybe only 10, maybe only 2 every month. But if 2 people that live in East London, right next door to me, that want a website built, why would I not want to rank high for that keyword? Its SEO difficulty is very easy. It doesn't have, don't need massive amounts of backlinks. The domain score is quite low. Although it returns such a low search volume, don't look at that as a negative thing. Look at that as a positive thing, because you could be paying $7.33 for every time someone clicks on that advert. If you wanted to rank high in the, if you wanted to list on page 1 for that keyword term, when I copy that and paste it into Google search result, if I want to pay for advertising on this keyword, every time someone clicks on that advert, I'm going to be paying close to $7.33, or around, say, £5 or £6. So it's worth ranking high for, definitely. But let's go back to this keyword web designers, and you can see it's a much bigger keyword term. It's going to return much more search results. It's much more competitive, so it's going to be much harder to rank high for. But it doesn't mean it's not worth trying. If you're a new business, then you may want to go for slightly more long tail keywords like web designers in East London or web designers London and so forth, because you're going to get less competition on those keywords, because more people will just type in generic terms like web designers, then they're going to type in East London web designers because it's very geographically specific. But both sets of keywords are very important. You need to go for geographically specific keywords as well as broad keywords like web designers. So if I take these web designers and paste it into Google search, really what I want to try and do today is, and imagine if this is your own business, right? You might not have web designers there. You might have coffee shop or coffee shop East London, or painting and decorators London, or painting and decorators. You need to try and work out which of these key phrases are worth ranking high for. So I'm just going to do a little experiment with web designers and stuff related to my business, and then we'll look at another case maybe for a painting and decorating company and look at some keywords that you might want to try and rank high for that. Then you can use that same logic and that same methodology and apply it to your business. So if you're an accountancy firm, you can use the same logic. If you're a hairdressing company, or if you've got a hairdressing business, you can use that same logic. So if I scroll down this page, I know straight away that I'm not on page 1. So if I scroll down, I'll go to page 2. I know that I'm positioned right here, right? This is my company. So for that particular term, it returns 367 million results, right? So there's a lot of results returned for that keyword. It's quite a broad keyword, and I'm ranked around here. So that if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this is a paid advertisement, so 6, and there's 10 on the home page. So I know that I'm around page 16 or position 16, page 2, position 16. So I've been working on that keyword to try and rank it to page 1. I've steadily been moving up the search engine rankings. And if you follow my YouTube channel and if you subscribe to my channel, you're going to find out how I went about doing that. I'm going to give you the knowledge of how you can rank quite high competitive keywords for your own business. But it's too much to try and explain within one tutorial. So here you can see my new website. I'm actually building this at the moment, and I'm using a lot of the knowledge that I've gained over the last few months. I've spent a lot of time. We've been really busy working on website projects for our clients, and I've also been spending quite a lot of time researching into SEO. SEO is a changing landscape. If you did SEO maybe 5, 6 or 7 years ago, or even 3, 4 years ago, or even last year, the landscape for SEO is changing consistently. There's a lot of what we call black hat techniques. So there was a lot of spammy techniques to rank a website high in the search engine, but Google over the last few years have changed its algorithms quite dramatically to stop people from cheating their way to the page 1 of Google, because it used to be possible to just spam your way to the top of the search engines, and that's kind of unfair in many ways. If you're a business, especially a small business, and you want to rank high in the search engines, and if you put a lot of time and effort and energy and do things in the right way, there's no reason why you shouldn't rank page 1 of Google, or at least get into the top 10 listings. It seems unfair that another business could just use some spammy techniques and get to page 1 very, very quickly without putting in a huge amount of effort or putting in a huge amount of valuable content for the users, right? So when I'm building this new website, I'm trying to build it for 2 reasons. Number 1, for the search engines, but number 2, also for the user experience, because you've got to think about both things. If you only think about the search engine, you just stuff your website with lots of written content, and you're not thinking about the user interaction, then you can get as much traffic to your website as you want. You can get hundreds and hundreds of visitors every day. But if those visitors are not engaged on your website and it doesn't look visually appealing, and you're not enticing them to fill out forms and giving them incentives and so forth, then it doesn't matter how much traffic you get to your website. So there's a bit of a balancing act here. On one side, you've got to think about the user, their experience, especially on mobile phones as well. And then the second side, you've got to think about the search engines and feeding the search engine the right information, using the right keywords, using the right structure on your website, so that you can cater for both the user and the search engine. So if you keep an eye on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be making lots more content around search engine optimization. I've been doing a lot of learning recently, refreshing my knowledge. Although I have a lot of knowledge about SEO, like I said, it's a constantly changing and evolving landscape. SEO doesn't seem to be a static sort of methodology. It's going to constantly be changing. For all you know, next month, let's say for example, Samsung launches out its launches its new phone which has dual screens, right? So I might start to think about ranking high on search engines for dual screen mobile website design, because Samsung might say, well, here's a completely different way to design a website if you're trying to rank it high for, or trying to cater a website for dual screen phones. And for over the next 2-3 years, dual screen phones might become the most common type of phone to have. It might just evolve that way, and I expect it will evolve that way. Why would you not? Why would you want one screen on your phone when you can have two screens? And if the price of those phones start to drop dramatically, the size of them, the weight of them, then it might become very normal to have two screens on your phone. It might even become normal to have four screens on your phone. You never know. You don't know how technology has evolved. If you go back only 6 or 7 years ago, you would have probably seen the first iPhone launched with its mobile technology and its mobile browsers, and then obviously Android came out. So with the web design landscape changed very dramatically during that period. Now we have to cater for multiple devices, tablets and desktops and laptops and so forth. So technology changes, and so does search engine optimization, just in the same way it changes, right? So let's just have a quick review of this website that I'm building. Let me just give you a couple of quick tips. So at the very top here, if I roll my mouse over the top, this little tab, you can see DCP, my company name. I always think it's important to put your brand first. Some people don't do that, but I think it's important. Then I've got web designers. I've got website design London, and then I've got web designers, right? So I've got website designers. So I've got 3 different keywords there. I've got web designers, web design in London, and then I've got website designers, and I've got my branding at the beginning. And then I've got this bit of text here. I've got some showcase of some clients' work. I've got web designers written here, and inside of this why choose DCP, I've got web designers written here. I've got website design. I've got website design. Here's web design. Here's web developers. So you can see how I'm writing content. It's natural content. It's not spammy. It doesn't say buy a website from me. Guess what? I'm the best web designer. Why don't you come and buy a website from me tomorrow? Buy a website from me next week. Sometimes you go to websites and the content is so blatantly spammed out in terms of keywords. It just doesn't read right, and that's bad for user engagement, and search engines can recognize that as well now. Search engines can read paragraphs of text and look at the language and the way it's structured. Even if you have big blocks of text without it being paragraphed out, that can hurt your search engine results as well. So you want to write in the most natural way possible. Write good clean content, and then afterwards look at your content and try and incorporate your keywords into it. Normally when I write content for a page, I'm not even thinking about the keywords. I write the content first, just in my most natural, organic language possible, in the most natural way. And then afterwards, I think about how I can incorporate these keywords that I want to rank high for inside of my content. And try and make it engaging, right? Top 10 reasons to choose DCP web designers. Give 10 reasons to choose your company, then try and incorporate some keywords into there. Website designers, web design solutions to help your business grow. So incorporate keywords into key messages as well. And then here's a keyword, here's a keyword, and here's a keyword, right? So you can see how I'm building up keywords on the page to optimize it for that particular search term. So what does that all mean? If we go back to Ubersuggest, the first thing I did was my keyword research. When I started to rebuild this website, I did my keyword research first of all. Then if we take a keyword like web design in London, let's type that in, web design in London. If I search for that keyword, I can see it returns 4,400 searches per month. That fluctuates throughout the year. The SEO difficulty is very easy, but it still returns quite a lot of volume, right? And if I can grab a small piece of that volume, I don't have to convert 100 customers every day or every month. I need maybe, 10 website projects a month, and I'm a happy person, right? Let someone else build some websites. I don't want all of the websites on the planet. I don't want to take on all the websites forever long. I only want enough for me as my business, and then I want other website companies to have their slice of the pie as well. It's nice to share out, right? And I don't need massive amounts of traffic. I need targeted traffic. That's the key thing. You want to target your traffic and get the right type of traffic. So keyword research in here is very important. If I type in something like let's say web design in London. Let's copy that and paste it into the search results. I'm going to show you one other thing that I do sometimes. I'm going to click on settings here first, click on search settings, and then set it to 100 here, 100, and then click save, and then click OK, and then I'll tick this box, and it's saying Crossway, right? So let's just fill out these annoying captures, and we'll click verify. Now the search engine is returning 100 results per page. You can see 100 results. So if I want to quickly check where I am for a particular keyword, I can hit enter, type in that keyword, press Ctrl F, and then type in my domain, DCP Web, and then I can see I'm here. I'm ranked here, right? And then I can just roll my mouse up and I can see roughly how far am I away from the top of the search engine. And I would estimate that I'm probably about position, anywhere between position 15 and position 20. Now Ubersuggest, you can actually enter your keywords, you can register, you can list out all the keywords that you want to rank high for, and Ubersuggest will tell you roughly where you are ranked for those keywords as well. But sometimes I would want to just go to this particular tool, type in a keyword, look at the search volume, look at its difficulty, look at how many backlinks the top 10 websites are receiving for that particular keyword, look at the domain score, and then try and find out roughly where I am in the search engine. And if I like that keyword, if I think it's going to be productive for my business, then I'll add that to a spreadsheet somewhere. I'll just create a spreadsheet and start listing them all. And maybe I'll list about 50 keywords. It doesn't mean I'm going to rank high for all of them, but it means that at least I've got an opportunity, or at least I've documented that I want to try and rank high for those keywords at some point in the future or right now. So I can start theming blog posts, I can start theming portfolio items, news items, content on my website, the actual words on my homepage, to try and incorporate that particular keyword into my content, right? So if I copy this keyword and let's just do one other thing. I'm going to open up another web browser. So I'm going to open up this web browser here. This is Google Chrome, and I'm going to show you a quick tool here. It's called SEO Quake. So if I click on here and then click to enable it, I've already done a tutorial on SEO Quake, so I'll put a link to that in the YouTube description. But this tool, this is my same homepage that I'm rebuilding right now. If I click on density, you can see that I've got 4,764 words on my homepage, and you can see the density for things like website design. This T says that it's in the title, it's in the descriptions, it's in the keyword, and it's in the H1 tag. So that particular word is located in all of those elements, those elements there, right on the page. And you can see it's mentioned 83 times, but it only has a density of 1.74% because I've got lots of written content on the page. If I press Ctrl F and then look for website design in London, that particular keyword is not written anywhere in the content on my homepage. So if I want to rank high for that, I should at least mention it once or twice within the content of my homepage. So SEO Quake is a good tool to go and analyze your content very, very quickly to find out if you've got that keyword written on your homepage. So if I want to rank high for something, I don't necessarily have to have that keyword on my homepage, but it would be to my advantage if I do mention it at least once or twice on my homepage, right? That particular keyword. So there's a little bit of advice for you. If you want to rank high for keywords in search engines, you need to try and at least mention them somewhere on your website. But you can't imagine if I went for 50 different key phrases, I can't mention every single permutation of website design in London. Then I want to rank high for website design in London, then website design agency in London, and website design company in London. What I'll end up doing is ranking or choosing maybe 5 or 6 keywords from my homepage and then build sub pages around these other ones. So there's nothing stopping me from writing a new page on my website, which is going to be a sub page, not the home page, a sub page, which will be about website design agency in London. So I can go and write a page for that content, and its keyword, its SEO difficulty is only 21. Then I can go, let me just give you a little tip here. So website design in London, if I click on the keyword down here, click on it, what that will do is give me all of the search results, or the top 100, I believe it is here, of all the companies that rank for that particular keyword, right? And you can see that I was in here somewhere, here I am, right? Position 17, that's me, and I've got all these companies above me, and if you see here, you can see estimated visits 2. But if I get closer to the top, you can start to see 700, 400. So I want to be in one of these top 5 or 6, results. That way I can get some traffic to my website for that keyword. It's not that difficult to rank high for. And I can see my competition. And inside this competition, you'll also see things like social shares, how many times it's been shared socially, and the website's domain scores. Remember we spoke about domain score? We spoke about domain score. So if I look at the domain scores here, 77, 45, 46, 61, 85, 88, 48. So there's quite a few of them are in the 40s, right? So if I go and have a look at my one, it's at 42. So there's a good chance that I can also rank high for that particular keyword if I put in some time and energy and effort and write some good content around that particular key phrase. So if we were to take in another example, let's go back to, let's say, overview. And in here, if I type in something, let's imagine that you're running a business, right? I'm going to make up your business for you. Let's say that you're running a painting and decorating company. So if I type in painting and decorators, so if I type in painting and decorators, it returns 14,800 results. So imagine you're a painting and decorating company, you want to rank high for this keyword. The SEO difficulty isn't very, very high, right? It says 69 backlinks and domain score 62. 62 is quite high actually, yeah? It's not that low. But if I take that keyword and go to the search engine and paste it into here and do a search for it, I can then see the top sort of 10. Let's go back to the settings here and go to the search settings. Let's set it back to top 10. It will just make life a little bit easier, and click save. And then I'm looking at the top 10, right? So imagine if you're a company, imagine if you're a painting decorating company. You came to me and said to me, I want to rank high for painting and decorators keyword on the first page of Google. So I'll go and do that keyword research for you. In fact, I will actually show you how to do it yourself, because I believe in sharing knowledge, right? So this is why I'm making this video. So I will teach you how to do that yourself, and then I'll tell you, just because it says SEO difficulty 35, and just because they only have 69 backlinks and the domain score is of 62, it doesn't mean it's easy to rank high for. Because when you go to the search results, you're going to see Gumtree, big company, Checkatrade, big company, Yo.com, big company, My Builders, another big company, the paint specialist, right? So here you can see a keyword, Rated People, another big company, and then these are all smaller companies, well, not necessarily smaller ones, but these are just normal businesses. But you can see like some of the big directories dominate the top of the search engine results. So yes, you can actually get to the page 1 of Google. This is just a normal business, this one here. And this one here is a normal company, and this one here is a normal company. But out of those 10 results, a good top 4 or 5 of them are going to be the big companies, the big directory websites, which makes your life a lot more difficult to rank high for that particular keyword. So I'm not saying don't do it. Put it on your to-do list of keywords to rank high for. But if you went for painting and decorators London, then you're going to narrow down your search results. So the previous one returned 14,800. This search result returns 16,000. So again, your SEO score is a lot less difficult. The last keyword difficulty, the domain score, was 69. This one's 32. And it returns quite a lot of backlinks, 188, but that's not a massive amount. And if you're a painting and decorating company, you're based in London, and you can get a bit of that traffic, not all of it, but some of it, to your website by ranking high for that particular keyword. If we go to the search results and paste and enter here, we can see it returns 6,450,000 search results. If we look at painting and decorators, that returns 29 million. So 612, 18, 20, 612, 18, 24. That's almost 1/5. This painting and decorator London returns almost 1/5 less search results for that particular keyword. And then you're going to find a lot of the businesses here now that rank on the page 1 of Google are actually real businesses. You've got Checkatrader here, you've got Gumtree here, but then you've got normal, just average businesses that rank on page 1 of Google as well. So what's harder to rank high for? Most definitely painting and decorators rather than painting and decorators in London. Then you can do permutations of that. If you click here and look at the results, when you scroll down, you can see painting decorators London, painting decorators London. You've got painters and decorators London. You've got painters and decorators in London. You've got painters and decorator jobs in London. So that's probably not so relevant for a business that offers a service. but there's nothing wrong with you ranking high for that particular keyword. But all you're going to do is get lots of people contacting you because they want jobs, right? So it doesn't make sense. You've got to choose the right keywords. But painting and decorators, East London, is that worth ranking high for? Painting and decorators, East London. Let's copy that and paste it into here. Painting and decorators, East London. I happen to be in East London. That's where I live, in East London. If we do a search for that, let's let that search out, and then we'll go over here and we search for that keyword. Now you can see the amount of results has been reduced as well, and you can see now a lot of the businesses are just normal businesses on here as well. So you've got a good chance to rank high for that. Although, you know, painting and decorating industry is very, very competitive, to be fair. But there's nothing stopping you from ranking on page 1 of Google for that particular search term. It's not really returning any results here. Painting and decorators, it says 0 search volume. But you know, sometimes when it says 0 search volume here, it doesn't mean no one's looking for it. It just means the volume is very, very low. So you might look for something like painting and decorators in East London, where that's returning some results, right? So that's a better keyword to try and rank high for, painting and decorators in East London. Let's say that's a better one, right? So painting and decorators, let's check it, in East London. And at least that will return some sort of results, 260. There's no real graph here, right? Because the results are quite low, so there's no real data involved here. But the SEO difficulty is 4, the paid difficulty is 1, the cost per click is going to be very little. So you may just want to pay per click for that and rank for it. But it returns 260 results per month, which is, to be fair, not a lot, right? But if you went for 50 or 60 different keywords, if you built loads of sub pages on your website and wrote really good content and put rich media content in there, like infographics and lots of good written content, some blog posts, some maybe video content, then you could rank high for loads of smaller niche keywords. And if you can rank high for lots of them, then you can start to gather volume based on loads of smaller ones. So if you've got keywords that are returning 260, but you happen to rank high for, I don't know, 50 keywords that rank high for that, then your search volume almost changes, right? So if you look at this, if you did 260 times by 50, then you're looking at 1300 search results. You're almost targeting 1300 volume, but loads of smaller ones. So that's kind of my strategy for my business as well. I'm trying to rank higher for sure, for bigger keywords, but also for a lot of smaller ones as well. Don't neglect those smaller ones. That's what I'm trying to say. So hopefully you can see the power of this tool. There's lots of other features in this tool. There's just there's too much to go through in one sort of video. So I'm going to be creating more videos based around this particular tool and other search engine optimization tools. I'm going to try and find some nice free ones for you that you can use, or ones that you can use on a trial basis. And maybe in our next tutorial we'll look at this tool again, and maybe look at domain score, look at backlinks, how you can improve your backlinks, and how you can structure website content that is good for the customer, good for your visitor, but at the same time good for the search engines as well. There's ways to structure content correctly that you can cater for both, right? And what are the advantages of creating blogs and having a nice portfolio and showcasing your business in the right way. So let's minimize this. I hope you find this information really useful. Go and do your keyword research. The first thing I would do is open up a spreadsheet, go to this keyword research tool, type in a keyword that you think you should be ranking high for. Normally try and go for the most generic one possible, like website design or web designers or painting and decorators or decorators, and then look at the permutations underneath. So when you go to that search engine tool, if you type in something like, where's it gone? Here, if you go to this tool and you're a decorator, try and type in something really basic like decor. Type in something really just generic like decorator, and then look at the search engine results, and you can see like home decorators. That's probably a better one for you to rank high for, but you can start to see these results seem very strange. Let's just see. Maybe I typed that in wrong. Probably spelled it wrong. I think I spelled it wrong. Yeah, here, decorators, right? 18,000, SEO difficulty, paid difficulty, cost per click, domain score is very, very high. So if you try to rank high for this particular keyword, you're going to have to have either a well-established website, or you're going to have to put in tons of effort. One or the other. I'm not saying either one is wrong, but maybe that should be your long-term goal to rank high for that. Decorator London, now you're going more geographically specific and you're going to target maybe less customers. Your domain score will need to be a lot less, so it doesn't have to be so powerful. The SEO difficulty is a lot less. You will receive less search results, but at least you've got a good chance of ranking high for it. Then you can look at all the different permutations, right? Home decorator London, 320 results, and so forth. So hopefully you've got a good idea about how to do your keyword research. Open a spreadsheet, start listing all of your keywords into a spreadsheet, look at their domain difficulty, look at the keyword score, the return results, right, of the search volume. Try and document them in a spreadsheet as well as you're doing your research. Maybe look at least 20 different keywords to start with, and then you're in a good position to start thinking about how you're going to write your content for your home pages and your services pages and all your sub pages. So in future tutorials, we're going to look at how to structure content on your website, what are the advantages of having multiple pages rather than just a single service page, for example, and how to write good blog content, how to use YouTube to power up your content, how to get social media signals. Search engines like social media, so if you're getting a lot of content shared on social media, that's a good ranking signal for search engines. How you can use video content in your blog post to keep visitors on your pages. Did you know that YouTube looks at your content, right? So if you've got something like Google Analytics installed into your website, and if someone clicks on one of your search engine results, imagine you write something about, I don't know, the best new colors for 2019 for painting decorators, or something to do with colors, painting walls, what are nice colors to use in 2019. Someone goes and clicks on this blog post on the search engine results, and your content isn't very good, they're going to go back to the search engine results. But if your content is good, maybe you've got some nice sort of color palette scheme image on your website, maybe you've got a nice infographic, you've got some nice written content, and you've got a video there. And if your video is like 5 minutes long, then if you've got analytics installed onto your website, search engine, Google can see that this visitor looked at the Google search results, clicked on your article, went to your article, and spent 5 minutes just sitting there watching your video. If you can keep someone on your website on a page for 5 minutes, that's pretty amazing, right? Because people are so impatient. Imagine when you go to a website and you're looking at some content on a web page. If you sat there and timed yourself how long you actually spend on that page, I doubt it would be 5 minutes. I think it would be more like 30 seconds. And then there's so much content out there. There's so much information that we can just bounce between pages. And I'm guilty of that myself, right? If I find something that's very interesting, I'll spend the time to sit there and read it. But that piece of content has got to be very engaging or very informative. It's got to tell me something that I'll find it hard to find somewhere else, or not necessarily hard to find. It's got to explain something to me in a way that I can understand. And that's what I'm trying to do in this video tutorial today, is try and explain to you how to do your keyword research and how to look at search volume in a way that you can understand. And that's pretty much your first step for search engine optimization. If you don't do this, anything else that you follow afterwards is a waste of time. There's no point in writing content if you're going to end up ranking high for search engine results that bring you no traffic or next to no traffic, right? It's illogical. So do your keyword research first. Find out if those keywords that you're researching for have good search volume, or at least some decent search volume, and then you're done with step one. So in our next tutorials, we'll look at how we can incorporate those keywords into content, making sure that you're not writing spammy content, how you can check using tools like SEOQuake to make sure your density is right. And we'll use a few other tools as well to help you write content in the right way. Okay, so that's the end of this tutorial. I hope you find it informative and useful. Try and use that tool. Try and go to Google and research other keyword tools. There's other ones as well. There's things like Google keyword research tool for Google advertising. So if you've got a Google Ads account, you can go into Google AdWords and you can actually use the keyword tool there to do the research as well. So there are some other tools out there, but Ubersuggest is such a nice, simple interface, which is why I like to use it. But I'm not saying it's the only tool out there. You need to probably cross-reference it to some other tools as well. So maybe we'll look at some more advanced tools in some near future tutorials, but that's a good place for you to be starting. Okay, I'll stop talking. That's the end of this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you in the next DCP word tutorial.